Faith is the heartbeat of every civilization. The invisible strength that binds people together, gives meaning to life, and shapes the culture that defines who we are. It is not just a private belief hidden in hearts. It is the moral compass of societies, the anchor that holds humanity firm when the tides of temptation, confusion, and moral decay rise high. Without faith, culture drifts like a ship without a rudder, impressive in structure but directionless in purpose. Throughout history, every thriving civilization had its roots deep in faith. The songs people sang, the art they created, the laws they lived by, all reflected their spiritual understanding of right and wrong. Faith taught them humility before God, respect for elders, compassion for the weak, and justice for all. When faith was strong, people built cultures of peace and dignity. When faith weakened, those same cultures crumbled, leaving behind ruins that whisper lessons to us even today. Faith is not merely a ritual or a set of rules. It is the living spirit that transforms individuals and gives culture its soul. It teaches us gratitude when we prosper, patience when we suffer, and forgiveness when we are wronged. In homes guided by faith, children grow up not only with education, but with conscience. They learn that honor is not in wealth but in virtue, not in fame but in humility, not in power but in service. Such homes become nurseries of noble citizens, and such citizens build nations that honor both God and humanity. Yet, the modern age has placed faith on trial. Many now see it as outdated or unnecessary, replacing spiritual conviction with moral relativism. They call it progress, but what kind of progress leads us away from the Creator who gave us purpose? Culture without faith becomes entertainment without meaning, art without ethics, and freedom without restraint. It celebrates desire but forgets discipline. It praises expression but abandons truth. When faith is removed from the foundation, the walls of civilization begin to crack silently until they collapse completely. Look around our world today: chaos in families, corruption in leadership, violence in streets, dishonesty in trade, and despair in hearts. These are not random events. They are symptoms of a deeper sickness: the absence of faith. The fear of God, once the greatest restraint against evil, has faded from the hearts of men. Without it, societies build laws but lose justice, build wealth but lose peace, build technology but lose morality. The anchor has been lifted, and the cultural ship is drifting into the storm. But there is still hope, because faith never truly dies. It sleeps in the conscience of humanity, waiting to be awakened. Reviving faith begins with individuals who dare to believe again. When one person starts living truthfully, praying sincerely, and treating others justly, the light of faith shines again in the culture. One family that chooses honesty over deception, one leader that fears God more than losing power, one community that values character over comfort. These are the sparks that can reignite an entire civilization. To preserve culture, we must first preserve faith. Schools must teach not only science and language, but also moral wisdom. Parents must not only feed their children's bodies, but also nourish their souls. Media must not only inform, but inspire truth and modesty. The role of faith is not to divide societies, but to elevate them, to remind us that beyond nationality, color, and status, we are all servants of one Creator. The beauty of faith-based culture lies in its balance. It does not reject progress, but it ensures progress remains moral. It welcomes art, science, and technology, but it places them under the guidance of conscience. It allows freedom, but freedom governed by ethics. It welcomes diversity, but diversity rooted in respect and justice. In this harmony between belief and action, humanity finds peace and civilization finds stability. The fear of God, intertwined with faith, keeps culture humble and compassionate. It prevents arrogance, restrains greed, and reminds mankind of accountability. It is faith that tells the artist to create beauty that uplifts, the scholar to pursue knowledge with humility, the ruler to govern with justice, and the citizen to live with integrity. Faith purifies hearts, and pure hearts produce pure cultures. Let us remember, the greatness of a nation is not in its armies or monuments, but in the faith of its people. Faith gives life meaning. Culture gives it expression. When both walk together, civilization blossoms. But when faith departs, even the most advanced cultures turn hollow. Therefore, the revival of faith is not a religious necessity alone, it is a cultural salvation. Today, as we see the moral confusion spreading across the world, every believer must rise as a guardian of faith and culture. Let us return to our roots, not to live in the past, but to rebuild the future upon divine guidance. Let us restore the sacred bond between faith and daily life, where every word spoken, every decision made, and every action taken reflects awareness of God. For faith is the anchor of culture, and only when that anchor holds firm can our societies survive the storms of time. Without it, the world may advance materially but will collapse spiritually. With it, humanity can once again stand tall, with dignity, purpose, and peace in its soul. Please subscribe and press the bell icon to receive notifications of future videos when uploaded.